This is Kim Cassis for IFLTV. It's Misfits Mania Fight Week. Delighted to be joined by Mr. Tony Ferguson. How are you, sir?
Good, my friend. How are you?
Back again, Tony.
Absolutely. You know what? The last time I was here in Dubai, I was actually in Abu Dhabi. It was August 1st, and it was hot as shit. So this is a blessing that being able to wear a hoodie right now without sweating my ass off.
Yeah, people kind of think that you can't wear kind of like a hoodie, like you said, but as it comes to nighttime especially as well, if you're outside, thin jacket or...
Yeah, it's just kind of like California weather, man. I'm used to the Michigan snow weather and everything, so I feel spoiled that we're getting this California weather here right now and not all the steam room, hot sauna kind of weather right now. It's a blessing.
Absolutely. Let's just kind of track back to last time out. It's been a while now. How do you reflect on your performance against Papi?
For my first fight ever in boxing, I mean, no amateur fights, and for a pro, it wasn't bad. I mean, being used to the equipment, you know, and the warm-ups and everything, it was a very good learning experience for the next couple of battles. I'm going to be real with you, because MMA prep versus boxing prep, a little bit different. MMA prep is a little bit more stressful because you have to worry about multiple sports, right? And then you're taken away from family and you're taken away from all the other things, and you're kind of always stressing about doing more on what. This, I only have to worry about boxing. I get to put on shoes, I put on my cup, I put in my mouthpiece, and I'm ready to fucking rock and roll. So this is how it went, and this is how it goes. Camp went amazing. I put in all the time, and usually I have these note cards. Every single time that I went through and I did a workout, like a whole day, I wrote it down. I got a stack of cards, and I'm like sitting here, I'm like, man, did I do enough? I'm like, oh yeah, I did enough, and I got that stack, and it feels good to be like that, because in high school I would do that. We would have weightlifting class before our football team, you know, practice. It was the last class of the day, and our job, in order to get scored and get our grade, is we had to fill out our workout sheet. Yeah. So I started back old school, and when I was old school, I called back my college wrestling coach, and I had a good, serious conversation to him about what I want and what I expect from myself for next year. Yeah. And this last quarter, we've been fucking working our asses out getting ready for it. So I feel solid, about 171 pounds, strong as shit, still hitting plate workouts and doing all these things, and I feel good, man.
Sorry, just a quick question. At high school, academically, what were you strong with? Obviously, apart from anything to do with kind of sports, what were you good at, kind of on the other side, if you like?
Writing, speech. Yeah. My mom got me a thesaurus for my birthday. So
really?
I'm a writer. So when it goes into poetry, storytelling, just anything, I just love to write. Science. I want to be a doctor. So like I went to school to be a PT, physical therapist at Central Michigan my freshman year. They made it a doctorate that year. And I said, that's a long time. So I ended up bartending and made more money bartending for a couple of years. And then I accidentally not accidentally, my buddy called me up years later, a couple of years later, like probably like 3 years later, he calls me up and says, hey, Tony, what are you doing? Nothing, I've just been bartending and just, you know, paying bills and stuff. He's like, do you still have your wrestling shoes? Yeah. He's like, I'm like, why? And he's like, we need your help. We got Gitch. He's preparing for his third national title. Can you come in and come help us out? Well, I don't know what's good I'm going to be. You know, I've been smoking cigars and eating like hoagies and all this stuff over at, you know, doing the beach bar thing. And I went in there, and as soon as I go into the university, if you've ever been into a university, an actual university, you just get awed by the colors, the sights, and just the scenery and the energy that's there. I felt it as soon as I got in there, and I just saw the indoor track, and I just saw everything. It was just like, man, this is exactly, I love this. This is what I wanted. And I went to the room, and my coach Dave Mills, comes, hey, Tony Ferguson, Coach Dave Mills here. It sounded like a car salesman. Love him, love my coach. And we got right down to it. I changed my shoes, and then here's Gitch over there in the corner wrapping his fucking hands up like a monster, sitting here. And he was known, he had big old cauliflower ears, and he was just a tough guy. And I'm like, fuck, what am I doing here? Stomach's going all nervous, butterflies. I handle my business. I go in there and I kick his butt. Didn't score one time on me. I handled it big time. And I haven't wrestled in years. I go to the puke bucket right after the match. Everybody's like, you good? I'm like, yeah. Coach comes up, you got one more in you? Yeah, sure. I go in there, and it was 0-0. Now, remind you, he was a two-time national champ already, and I haven't wrestled in years, but I still had it. And so, with that being said, I finished the practice, did the sprints, did all the extra credit stuff. Long story short, he calls me up a couple months later, and he's like, hey, Tony Ferguson, Coach Dave Mills here. He did the same speech, and he's like, I want to say thank you very much for helping get you out for the national title. He's like, we didn't do as well as we wanted to, but wanted to ask you, what are you doing next year? I'll probably be doing the same thing, but I do have to say I started running and I got into shape and I've been doing things differently since then. So I appreciate you, Coach, for helping me get my mindset back into where I needed it to be. He's like, well, how would you like to come and wrestle for Grand Valley? What? Absolutely. This is amazing. I was like, but Coach, I don't have a lot of money. I was like, he's like, well, there's steps to do this. He's like, have you ever filled out fat? Like all these things. And I said, yeah. He's like, well, I'll tell you what. He's like, you come here and you do everything. I want you to sign a promissory note. I'll pay for your first year. But if you graduate, you don't have to pay me anything. If you don't graduate, you have to pay me every single cent. Now, mind you, I didn't graduate. And it took me for a long time from the Ultimate Fighter. You're talking about from 2006, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, all the way probably to probably 15. I wrote my final check in 2015 with a big old smiley face. And I said, thank you, Coach. And
I paid back every cent.
Every freaking cent. And then every time I had him in my corner, I brought him into my corner. Like not every time, but I would bring him in my corner and I would pay him to be in my corner. And I kept that relationship going with him since he's retired. And this camp, I called him up and I wasn't moving the way I wanted to. And I told him, Coach, nobody can get me to move like that. And I was like, we need to go through our steps. We need to go through the Grand Valley workout again. And so he would Zoom, we would Zoom. And we went through probably like 5 days in a row, 6, 7 rounds of just nonstop stance and motion drills. So they're talking about like outside sweep singles, double, like all the stuff that's gonna get my heart rate up and my legs underneath me again. And we fucking got back to it. And I can always count on that, man, because I know and he knows I'm not gonna waste his time when he comes into it, and we're gonna put that effort into that shit. And that's the confidence I'm bringing into this weekend.
Wow. Well, I wasn't prepared for that story, but what a great kind of introduction into kind of how it all kind of started for you as well, Tony.
Opportunities exist when we create them, man.
Absolutely,
really
yes.
It's like we want things to be done for us, but it's like instead of being a diva or doing other things and demanding, it's like go over there and make it happen. Make it happen. Pick up the tools.
Or at least try.
If you at least try and somebody sees you trying, they're gonna the energies that are combined when people trying is much more than people sitting back and bitching. And with that trying, you always find solutions, at least in my history.
Let's talk about Saturday night. A different proposition for you in Mr. Warren Spencer. Obviously, last Misfits show didn't quite kind of go his way. But what have you seen of Warren? Have you kind of seen much of him aside from kind of what we've seen him on Misfits and wherever else?
He's a good right-hand fighter. I mean, he's got decent hands. I mean, he was hitting Dylan DANIS before, he shot in. Kind of dumb mistake, I mean, that just goes into lack of experience when he goes into it. I believe he's going to make another mistake in this fight. I'm going to force that, and I'm going to capitalize on it. I've seen him being beat a couple different ways by stopping of punches and by knockout. I've just seen he's a tough cat. You can't hate on him, being real, but, I mean, ante up, motherfucker. I see you flossing all your shit. I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna beat you the fuck up, boy. You talk mad shit, but then when you see me in front of you, you say it's a gentleman's sport. I understand that as well. It's a gentleman's sport, yes, but I'm gonna handle business on Saturday night, and you're gonna get the best me out there, pal.
Obviously, he's part of Team Tate, if you will, and. What are you making of Tate's fight with Chase DEMOOR? Obviously, Chase DEMOOR's in this world, is in the Misfits world, he's had a few fights and he's improved as he's gone along, but Tate's coming from a kickboxing background for his kind of, if you want to call it a debut in boxing, yeah, we will. What do you make of that?
Let's go. So, I know Tate, I don't know too much of him or the background. I kind of really do, just like any other person that has social media. Yeah. No, he was a kickboxer. Once you're a kickboxer, you're a world champ, it's kind of hard to put that away unless, you're just not in it anymore. But when you're away for a long time and you start to see people that are the kind of the same age go in there, because I'm the same age as him. I'm 41. I'm old. I'm halfway to 82, bro. It's fucked up. But you have guys that sometimes people think that their prime is in their 20s, and it's not. You're learning around that. And then 30s, you're kind of applying. By the 40s, you got the experience and the know-how if you've taken care of yourself to be able to go in there and handle your shit. Now, mind you, with a lot of talking shit, you have to back it up. Tate's been backing it up, looks like, with his sparring and a lot of his people that he's bringing into camp. What they did for Warren Spencer, right, is they put a pre-fight beforehand. As a good coach and as a good person, that's what you would want to do. If you're especially fighting a high-profile fighter like myself, you want to have them go through the motions of the walkout, the song, everything. That way they're not more nervous about that. And then as a trainer, you can go and depict it, be like, this is what we need to work on, this is what we have, and this is what we need to do. He's probably planning on making the walkout very long. I mean, I'm hearing all the verbiage, and I'm watching film because that's what we did in football. That's why we were 27-1. We were state champs because we watched a lot of film. Reading the linemen, if we were gonna, just being able to read the plays and everything. And reading Warren, I know that he's nervous, and he's been called out before a couple times by real fighters, talking about how much shit he talks and how he's scared a lot. And I saw a little bit of fear in him. He's gonna bring the fight, man. But he's never faced a guy like me, not an animal like me. I'm a real fighter.
Not long to find out. Not if you're a real fighter, I'm just saying not long to find out. Yeah, not long to find out what happens, by the way, that's what I mean.
Nah, when it goes into it, yeah, like, I mean, and these are words that are repeated by somebody else. Like, I don't fucking think about this shit. I'm an athlete, I'm not a fighter. I'm a better athlete than him all the way around. Like, you pick a sport, I'm gonna go out there and be better than you at that stuff. Like, that's just how competitive I am. It's not really about the fight game to me. It's about like that athleticism and making sure that talent it gets left out there on the table, not just how it's in here.
Darren Till next?
I'm gonna be real. It doesn't matter who's next. I think that with the smart man stays close to the weight. Doesn't really fluctuate too much. This is my shit. I'm not fucking with too much stuff, man. This is my future right here in boxing. I'm undefeated right now, which is funny. I want to know, but being real, that sounds a lot better. I like win streaks. Before my 12-fight win streak, I had maybe a 5 and an 8-fight win streak. So I'm all about the win streaks. Like, I just like it, but you have to appreciate it. And for a long time with the UFC, I stopped counting my numbers. Yeah, it got to that point, which fucking sucks. But I'm that kind of athlete, and I know myself. If I'm not happy about it, I'll be destructive toward my shit. But that's long and gone. I'm 41. I got no time for that bullshit.
Tony Ferguson, much appreciate your time. Wish you the best of luck on Saturday night, and hopefully we'll grab a word with you after your fight here in Dubai.
Absolutely. Cheers, my friend. Make sure you guys follow me on my way to victory at Tony Ferguson XT on IG and that Twitter thingy.